AI has been quite a firestorm taking over everybody's lives lately. And if you're not been doing it, I'm glad you're here today because you're going to be learning a lot. I am a Wall Street Journal bestselling author and former TV station owner. So I've been in media and advertising and promotion and marketing for most of my career. So I'm happy to teach you a lot of things going on today. And I'm wondering, I don't know in the chat, are any of you authors already? So just put a yes in the chat if you are, or if you're thinking about writing a book, let me know about that as well. So then we can tailor this towards you. So I want to start off with we're talking about from what Michelle wanted me to tell you is really how to build a personal brand and really not to get burnt out using all these tools. I am studying AI every week. I do at least 90 minutes of training on AI to learn new tools. And I feel like there's squirrels everywhere. And I'm constantly figuring out, oh, what can I do next? What can I do coming up? So just so you know, tools that I've used currently right now during this presentation, I'm using a tool called Otter. I use Otter all the time. I don't know if any of you have heard of Otter. So what Otter is doing in the background is it is recording my audio of this and it's giving me a transcript in real time. So now I can go back and use that and look at it and analyze it myself of what I did right, what I did wrong, what do I want to improve. And I can pull quotes from it. I can pull different things from it. I can create things from it that we're going to dive in a little bit later. I love that tool. I use it for sales meetings. I use it for presentations. It's just something really great to have. You can put it on your phone and record things just for your personal use to do that. So everyone look into Otter. I don't have any stock in it or anything like that. I'm going to pull up my slideshow and am I able to share my screen here? Let's see if that's, yeah, perfect. All right. And I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see better. Okay, so we're going to talk about if you've published a book, and I didn't see in the chat if people had said they did publish a book. So I love doing a book because when you have a book, you've created credibility in the marketplace. Oprah one time talked to someone who had been writing articles in the New York Times, and she suggested to him, and this is not like a long time ago, this is like within a year, she said, you should really take all of those articles and curate them and put them in a book so they're all in one place so people can find them. So that's the power of a book. Instead of having your information scattered everywhere, when you pull it all into one place, then you become this authority that people are looking at you from another vantage point. Authors still have credibility more than other people when you are able to take all your information and write a book about it. And it's funny as I watch movies, I'm noticing almost every movie has either a writer in it, an author in it, a publisher in it, because that is perceived as a higher level of authority. And it's another way to be discovered. So think about like when people ask me where they should be on social media, I really tell them they should be everywhere because people consume different content in different platforms. Some people I'll say, "Oh, I found that on TikTok." "Oh, I don't use TikTok." Okay, but other people do, right? So you have a different audience there. And other people consume on YouTube and other people are consuming books. I'm here at the beach. I came in on my vacation to do this for Michelle because I wanted to make sure that I was here for her audience. And it's interesting to me, like people say, oh, people aren't reading physical books anymore. I would say as I walk the beach, every group of people that have their beach chairs, somebody is reading a physical book in their chair. So books are still alive and well. They are selling millions of copies every year. So a book can be really a core asset for you, right? It gives you positioning in the marketplace. It describes you as an authority and an expert in the field that you're writing about. When people ask me, what should I write a book about? I always tell them, what do you want to be talking about for the next several years? What do you want to be known for? When you go on stage, do you want to be asked to speak about that topic? Because some people are confused. Should I talk about this part of my business? Should I talk about my personal life? What should I really do? So, really, I always say write your money book first. What do you want to be known as an expert for that's going to bring clients into your door, that's going to give you those speaking opportunities and give you the credibility that you want in the field that you want? And I'll tell you, clients hire people who have written a book. If it's between you and somebody else, more often than not, they're going to pick the person who wrote the book on it. So visibility is really the new authority. Authority is the new leverage. So my son is in the media business. He's only 25, but he is teaching people how to put out content all the time. I'm going to show you how to multi-purpose your content in different ways. So we want to make sure that you build a reputation and build a brand. I don't know how many of you maybe are confused. Should I build my personal brand or should I be promoting my company? This is a question my business partner and I asked each other for a really long time. And we were too shy to promote ourselves a lot of times. But really, I want to encourage you to promote your personal brand and put yourself out there. Yes, it can be scary, but I just want to say you take your personal brand wherever you go. As you're seeing thousands of layoffs of people from all these corporations, if they were just promoting their company and that brand and not themselves, nobody knows who they are or what they do. But when you come out and you say who you are and what you do, suddenly then you can take that and turn that into any job, right? And you can leverage that. And it builds your reputation and it builds your trust and your like factor. So, why a book? We talked about this a little bit. It enhances your credibility. It instantly positions yourself as an expert in the field. It's going to expand your reach. So, think about it. Now, all of a sudden, Amazon is working for you as a search engine. So, Amazon is one of the most powerful search engines on the planet. So, when you look up somebody's name and they have written a book, Amazon is going to be on that first page showing you the book that they've written, which how amazing is that? You don't have to pay them year after year. Once you get your book up there, it's going to be there. And if you have an Amazon author page, that usually populates as well. So not only do you get one listing up there, you get two. And then as people are using AI, AI is going to find you as an author. It's going to show that your book comes up. So if I search myself on AI, it would show my books on Amazon that I've produced. And of course, Barnes& and Noble and Target and places like that. So it totally expands your reach. And as the world is becoming more AI generated, you want your name to be everywhere and AI to be able to find you in those places. And if you're producing content from your book, it's going to pull that up as well. We just got several leads in the past months from ChatGPT, which blows my mind. So I'm going to add this in. Besides books, you should all take your website and ask ChatGPT or Claude or one of the search engines, how can I make my website be found more by AI? And it's going to give you all the tips. We uploaded all kinds of new FAQs to our website that helped our visibility. And I'm going to talk about generating opportunities. So I'll go back to my son because he's the most recent. When he was younger, I put him in a compilation book and he became a USA Today, Wall Street Journal bestseller. And then what happened was, as he started creating his personal brand, he just got asked to speak on a major stage. And one of the key things was that he was an author. So other people that were up there were also authors. If you want to have a speaking career, it really helps you to have a book. Okay, your book is the silent salesperson. I'm going to get into so your framework, your story, your IP, it captures the one asset of who you are. So the AI engine, I'm going to teach you today how to turn your book into an AI engine for you and get leads and sales that will keep going. All right, we're gonna automate and augment and amplify. So we're gonna show you the different things. I want you to be able to automate the things that come from your book and build your personal brand. And then it becomes your partner as you go along, that you can amplify all this. Then build your AI systems to scale it as well. I'm going to get into the meat of this. Okay, so here are 5 things. This is just for business owners as well as people using a book. So this is how you use AI. Use it for brainstorming. So these are the categories you use it for. So you use it for getting new ideas, right? So you're in that new idea zone. So coming up like, what are 5 things I should be doing in my social media? Give me social media ideas. Brainstorm, what should I be doing to create new offers for my company? And then to build, this is drafting the content. So I have built email sequences. I have I even built our latest book using AI. So what we did to do that was we took our latest book, Be Recognized, hadn't written it. We went away for a weekend, and this was over a year ago. Now, I do like Claude better for writing content. So if you're saying ChatGPT, I love for search, but Claude, I really love for writing. So what we did is we loaded up all of our content. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. We loaded up all of our content into Claude as well as ChatGPT. So I loaded videos up there. I loaded blog posts up there. I loaded articles. I loaded email sequences that we had. Any kind of assets we had, I loaded in there and made a project. And then when you have a project, it's really pulling from just what's in there. And then we had it build a framework. We have real proprietary prompts that we used. And I'll give you like a little clue of some of that stuff. We asked it to act like a New York Times best-selling writer and editor and to help us write a new book. So it came up with the framework and then it started putting that content that we uploaded into each chapter. Now, I will tell you, the longer you go, the AI gets lazy. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. You'll give you this great content when you first start out, and then all of a sudden our chapters got really small and just bare bones. So you need to refresh and take all of that and start a new conversation with what is created so far and start over. But we created our whole book using those two things and came up with a 250-page book that sounded just like us. And the key thing was that I sent this book to a really good friend of mine. She's known me for over 20 years. Didn't tell her anything about AI. The book is called Be Recognized. It has a lot of tools about AI in it. And she read the book and she's an avid reader. And she told me, Melanie, I just loved reading your book. It sounded just like you. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's amazing because I used AI to write it, but it wrote in my voice. Another thing you can do is take all your content, again, videos and things that you've actually written, and I've put it into ChatGPT and created a custom GPT that sounded like me. So it uses words that I always say. So apparently I use the word imagine a lot. And so it uses my language model. So whenever I'm writing emails or writing a letter or writing a social media post, my team puts it into my personal ChatGPT and then it comes out sounding like me. There was a time when my assistant was writing an email sequence and I read it to approve it. And I said, gosh, this sounds very corporate. It's well written, but it just didn't sound like me. And when I asked her, did you use my GPT? She said, no, I didn't. And I said, I can tell because it doesn't sound like I'm actually talking to the person. I want it to be personal. So use that as well. So again, use Claude for writing, upload all of your content to get your book framework. And if you're doing a podcast interview with somebody, upload that as well. Very great to get your content done. All right, let me move on. The other thing is when you are building and then when you're streamlining. So automate repetitive tasks. So what I've done with Claude too, I don't know if anyone's worked with Claude Cowork, and I might be going over people's heads, but I've used Claude Cowork, which can take over your computer. So with Claude Cowork, I asked it, my desktop was a mess. I had screenshots and things all over. And so I had Claude Cowork go in and organize my desktop. And it took about 10 minutes when it did that. So use it for organizing and doing tasks that you do all the time. So like we have a framework for our emails. So now we just go into the framework and now it knows exactly what we want to do. We don't have to start from scratch every single time. All right. And then you want to use it for connecting. So engage, nurture, and convert your audience and investigating. So we analyze our trends. I've analyzed things even from, I just recently did a bunch of stuff of our bookkeeping, analyzing trends over the last 5 years. So you can see how your Instagram is doing. You can see how you're doing financially, uploading that information and see how you're doing from there. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, this is the fun stuff. Let me share my screen again. All right, these are tools that you definitely want to use. Okay, we're getting into the meat of it. So take a screenshot of this slide. These are things that you're really going to want to use. So Oasis is a great tool. So take this tool and you're going to upload your book into it. Or if you don't have a book, then upload as much content as you can, or you can just simplify and upload, maybe start with one blog post, okay? And this is going to create a bunch of things for you. So let's say I've uploaded just one blog post or I've uploaded my book. From that, it's going to create a video script. It will create a Twitter post. It will create a New York Times article. It will, well, you know what, maybe I could go in there real time. It's going to create about 10 different things for you. Now, again, you're going to want to edit those because I always say it's going to do the heavy lifting, but then you need to go put your personal touch on there. So upload things to Oasis. So you're going to get about 12 different things of content that you can grab from there just to streamline your things. We've talked to our team. What is our process? So let's say I'm doing this summit right now, and once we get the recording of it, what are we going to make out of this? What is the process? So one of the processes is we're going to put it in Oasis to create a bunch of things for us. So then we start with that. So then we've got 10 things that we can take and edit from, and we're not starting from scratch. I don't know about you, but it's so much easier to edit things than to come up from the beginning, unless you're really a professional writer. Then the next thing I want to talk to you about is Notebook LM. Let me go into, let's see if I can go into Notebook LM here and I'll show you some of the things that Notebook LM makes. Just go in here. So in Notebook LM, so right here, I can create a variety of things. Look at this. It made an infogram for me, right? An infographic. I can do a video overview. I can do a mind map. It's generating that. Let's see. It'll create a blueprint. So this is the blueprint. This is a whole little workbook here. How cool is that? And again, you can edit these things. They do look a little AI-ish. And then it created all of this. Then you can go in besides this. So these are the things that it creates in here. But then you can also ask it to create anything you want, an email sequence or something. You can ask it to write a book sequence from here or outline from here. So this is really cool. And I like it. It only uses the content that's in there. Let me see if I can go into Oasis.io, I believe. It's this one here, just to give you an idea of what you can do. Let's go into my history. I don't know if it's in my thing. It's not letting me sign in here. All right. I'm not going to be able to sign in here, so I'll just go back to the slides. All right. And then Claude, I told you I love that for best in class. It's really my go-to writing tool. ChatGPT, I used way more than Claude, but now Claude has done so many different things. So what I feel like is these tools, they are fighting with each other. One gets better and then the other one gets a little better than the other one. So it goes up and down. Gamma, I love for slides. I started with my slideshow using Gamma today. I don't know if any of you've used Gamma, but it will build beautiful slideshows. All you have to do is put even a little bit of content in there and it will build a 10 slide deck or more. What I love about Gamma is that you can go in and edit the slides anytime that you want. So this was the slideshow I originally was doing for you all in here, and I just put some content in and then boom, it made it. And then I ended up using Claude for the slideshow. For this one, I just put what I wanted to do, made the description, uploaded my book, and then it made this beautiful slideshow within a few minutes. Gamma goes faster. Gamma will have something in under a minute, and you can change the slides and everything. Then Descript and Opus. So we always use Descript for editing and for taking videos, and Opus as well to make short form videos. So if you're creating content and you're afraid to do content, just put it into Opus and boom, you've got things. And then Zapier, you can connect things so one tool can talk to the other. All right. All right. So your book, what does it become? So when you write a book, you can have at least 12 blog posts out of it, create email sequences, podcast episodes, hundreds of social media captions and quotes from it, short form video clips, talks, and pitch decks. So when you have a book, you can create literally thousands of pieces of content. And how do you turn that into money, right? So you turn that into money because now you've created your brand. With your book, you've created the authority, and now you're taking it out into the world to easily create, to give to your social media team or do it yourself to create thousands of pieces of content. So when you take that book and you put it into some of the tools that I've told you about, now all of a sudden your brand becomes universal and is in so many places. So think about being everywhere now. That's what I want you to think about and have this as a no-brainer because part of it is you're sitting there every week going, what should I talk about? What should I write about? What should I make a video about today? If you just even take 2 paragraphs from your book, that's a video clip that you can make. You can just talk about a story that you put in your book. Just pick up your phone and make a quick video about that because you already have all the content done. All the hard work has been done for you. Let me go back here again. So I just want you to think about that. And then, so the easy way is to create the book. I'm going to give you something that's not in the slides today, but I'm going to talk about it real quick. These are things that you can create from your book, though. You can create, be a consultant from the things in your book. Another great thing is you can turn your book into courses. So now all of a sudden, each chapter becomes a course, right? Your book is your course and your course is your book. So you sell the course and give the book along with it. So think about that, that you've done all the hard work of being a #1 bestseller, launching your book, have thousands of pieces of content, and now you can ask AI to turn it into courses for you. And how much could you sell the course, right? The course has maybe more perceived value as well, and you bundle that with the book. So think about that as great. And then speaking, it's going to open up speaking gigs for you. And if you're not getting paid for speaking, then once you have a book, usually you can get paid for speaking and you can up your speaking fee. You can do VIP workshops and intensive master classes, all based off the books. You can get retainers, ongoing support, and then licensing. You can do licensing deals. I'm trying to think of the name of the book. I'll think about it. Anyways, they licensed it to, it's a very famous book. It's not on the top of my head right now. It's Robert Kiyosaki's book. And they licensed that in all the different countries. And that's how they created even more income from it and passive income from it by licensing it and licensing the title of it. Okay, so the foundation, 1 to 30 days, clarify your message, define your category, draft your book or manifesto, and set up your AI tech stack. All right, so I gave you your tech stack. Finish the draft, build your content multiplication system, design your high ticket offer, launch, lead, and the magnets. Now, monetized, you're going to publish and promote, run your content engine on autopilot, do outreach, and close your first high ticket clients. Now, I'm going to give you something that's not in here to write your book that I call it our 10 by 10 by 3. So think of, you're like, I just still don't know where to start. I don't even have a lot of content out there. Think of the 10 most frequently asked questions you get all the time. You might even get asked at a dinner party, what do you do for a living? So you're going to explain, you explain what you do, right? What do I do? How do I do it? Who do I do it for, right? Think of the 10 most frequently asked questions you get asked all the time. Those are probably even on your website. Then think of 10 questions that they should ask you if they knew what you knew, right? That people might ask if you're a realtor, where is the best place to live in Houston? That's where I'm from. Where are the homes that have the most, I don't know, trees or in it? And but they should be asking what homes have the best resale value or what homes have the best school district. What are questions they should ask you if they knew what you knew, right? And then for each of those answers, instead of just having the nuts and bolts answers, include 1 to 3 stories that go with each answer. It could be a story about a client that you had or an experience you had, or it could be about somebody famous. I can't tell you how many times I've just been listening to a book recently, The Science of Scaling, and almost every story in there is not about one of their clients. It's about somebody famous that you might know. It's maybe about Tony Robbins. So you just got to think about stories that people can relate to that go with the answers to each of those questions. So 10 most frequently asked questions, the should ask questions, and stories to go with those answers. That's the start of your book. And if you have a hard time writing that out, please don't edit as you write and then use Otter. You can just talk it out. You can have a friend sit with you and interview you and ask those questions like it's a conversation to get that content out. And with that, you've got 20 questions. You can combine those even, you're going to have at least a 10 chapter book. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. And then I know my time is coming to an end here. So let me get the last slide so you have something that I can give to you. Let's see. Let me just skirt down to this. So in here, this is our book, the one I talked about, Be Recognized, but you're also going to get with this QR code within the book, you'll get the book for free. You get the AI prompt toolkit, custom generated GPTs for your business, shows you how to do that, and the AI app favorite list. So grab that QR code for everybody and grab those freebies because I really want you to have all that. And it goes over everything I talked about today, as well as some additional things in there, some additional writing tips and marketing tips. And it really goes into depth about Oasis that we talked about today.